adventure. I can't seem to get it together. When you come over, you will see I live inside of a fantasy.
Today, we're doing a documentary on the purpose of building a bike tunnel through the USA. The bigger, the better, the cleaner, the safer.
Hey, if you guys build bike tunnels, I'll ride them.
Da-da-da-da. This is our bike tunnel idea. This is the one we thought of. This is the one we're excited about. But how can we take bikes to the next level where they're actually practical? That's what we were beating our brains out about. And the only thing we thought of with bike tunnels, where you go from point A to B on a slight incline, and anybody knows that when you put a bike on a slight downhill, you go fast. Then you bring it back up on a freight elevator. So the whole point would be to go from A to B, go up on a freight elevator, go to your job, and at the end of the day, go from C to D, go back to your home. Of course, you know, tunnels and bikes, they're both over 100 years old, but have we really put the two together yet?
What about the lighting system?
Good question. Well, I think with today's technology and LED and mirrors, I think we could light the tunnel for pennies on a dollar.
Solar panels.
Solar
you get them
panels?
for $200 over at the local hardware store.
That's right.
From what I understand, you're making this like a bike autobahn. You have different lanes for different speeds and safety reasons. It's always on an incline, so it's not hard to push. I think that's pretty good. As long as you have the safety buttons in different places, maybe even some monitor cameras, so in case there is an emergency, somebody can get to it. Because you don't want to get robbery down there or anything else, because let's face it, the world's not a perfect place, but you try to make it as perfect as possible. And being that way, I think it could work. As long as it has adequate ventilation and lighting, it could work.
We'd have to build a prototype bike tunnel somewhere to see if it works. Like I mentioned in LA, they have such bad gridlock right now, they can't build roads on the surface anymore. So they're talking about building a car tunnel right now in LA. But when you got a car tunnel, you got, of course, the danger from accidents, oil, gasoline. You have to have an elaborate exhaust system just to get rid of those fumes. Well, if you build a bike tunnel, you got a steady atmosphere, you got steady temperature, and the ventilation system is simple.
Is there going to be a toll or any money after?
Nope, you just pay. You just pay $1. You can pay $1, and if we, like in the future, if we have a series of tunnels, like going from Canada to the US to Ohio, if you want to ride them for 48 hours on a buck, ride them for 48 hours on a buck. You know, how much wear and tear is a bike going to do on a road?
To know about security, and if you get flats or emergency fall off accident, I mean, what's needed to support for that?
When you come to the bike tunnels, there'd be 2 armed guards. The reason why there's 2 armed guards is because they act like the police. They could, as you come up and give you $1, they could say, "We don't like you, you can't ride." They have total authority, or they could say, "Your tire looks bad, take it to the bike shop." There'll be a bike shop right there. The main purpose of the security is not to get people, it's for safety. We're not going to have insurance. You ride at your own risk. When you come into the bike tunnel, you understand that. For example, we all understand that coffee is hot.
So you don't want the government involved in the building this at all?
No, I want this to be we the people. I really would like this to be private enterprise. Like, for example, that's a good question, because right now they're more talking about private enterprise going into space instead of NASA and a government agency. And something like this is simple enough. We're not talking about some strange new technology or a rail train that goes 100 miles. We're talking about something everybody's familiar with, bicycles. So yes, our vision is very little government interference. Keep it simple, stupid. Our vision for the future is to go from California to New York on a bike and a buck.
Can there be, it's gonna be underwater, so can there be like windows to show the fish and stuff?
I hope so. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
You could have a fish every mile.
You want bike tunnels, right?
Yay! Well, listen, look at Jeremiah and Autumn. When they grow up, do you want them facing this economy they are now? Or do you want to be able to get a job in the bike tunnels? You know, you got to think of it, the future. It's not so much kids are our future. We got to provide a future for our kids.
Yeah, this short-term thinking doesn't work.
That's right. This is long-term thinking.